Okay, I guess we're going to try this. So, uh, I'm going to make 3 segments without any bells and whistles, without any uh, switching of cameras and all that stuff because the MSI is melting. It's overheating, it's hot to the touch, it's a mess. And so, unfortunately, we're not going to do that right now. I'm going to need to gather up some cha-ching to fix said computer and my other computer, which is the screen is cracked, and none of you can probably relate to this, except all of you probably can relate to this. So anyway, 3 segments. First, the political one, only because it's just completely nuts, right? And and we are in perilous times, need I tell you. So let's just go right into it. Uh, let's first of all, hey, let's go back a bit into the times that of Ronald Reagan and see how we got here. All right. Now, Ronald Reagan is a much beloved president. In many ways, he did certain good things. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, and all that kind of stuff. It was something that he did. And kind of pushed into that by some people I know. At least that's what they say. But the truth is, under the economic wing, it turned into merger mania and absorb everything mania, and this whole really unscriptural so-called religious right, which I think we can have call alternate Christianity, really, um, sprouted up along with Fox News and all kinds of other really disturbing things and trends. And the whole idea of like, I mean, the one that caught my eye and ear was, don't let them take away your this and your that and your this. That's not what they meant. They meant don't let you, the voter, take away their stuff. And so they wanted you to vote their way and confuse you. And I mean, obviously, I'm speaking to those of you who have voted in kind and maybe don't understand that. Let the free markets decide. Well, the free markets was them, and it wasn't free. You are paying for it. I am paying, or everyone's paying for it. So there's nothing free about that. It wasn't freedom of choice or speech. It was a license for the insanity that we are now experiencing, fully expressed, as taught by men like Adolf Hitler and Mein Kampf that Trump had, by his bedside, and all these other things. I mean, it's full on Armageddon time in a sense, and who knows? I mean, we don't really know, but we're watching it unfold, and the roots run incredibly deep. How do you get people in America to vote against their own interests? And people are beginning to wake up to this. Even the Trump voters, and people, they're finding out. The farmers, all kinds of people who are in so-called Trump country are finding out. And this was really bad for them. And that's what's the horror of it is that again, the elite took home, what, 83% of all the wealth in the world. It used to be quite the opposite. And so it's going worse and worse for the average person, for we the people. And it goes better and better for the oligarchs and better for the American oligarchs, because that's what they are. There's really no shame in what they do. They are absolutely after not just their money, but your money. They want to take away everything from you and me and everyone in America and just have it all for themselves. And that's what's been happening. Al Gore, actually, if he had been president of the United States, is voted by the popular vote, and the same with Hillary, well, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Uh, he warned about the 1% way back then. He told you what would happen. And even though the majority voted for him, despite the election fraud which the Republicans put out in Florida, because that's a fact, just look it up. What happened there? You mean having dead people and all the things that they accuse the Democrats of? That's what they do. Let me let you in on a little secret. That's what they do. If they hear them saying something about the Democrats, it's simply cover for what they are themselves are actually doing and creating. And then they will actually blame the Democrats for what they do. It's very insidious and very evil. So don't fall for it, people. If you're one of those, Reagan people or Republican people, and you've been told to hate Democrats and all this kind of stuff, the only reason you're being told that is to manipulate you to vote against your own interests and my interests and everyone, we the people's interests. Don't buy it. Uh, please vote any other way. I'm not saying the Democrats are perfect. I am far from it. Lots of secrets, lots of things that you call so-called deep state, things that are done around the world, in this country, everywhere, by the United States. I don't agree with a bit of it. Okay, so we can all probably agree about that, but uh, it's kind of like, which would you rather have happen? Um, you know, uh, uh, a certain amount of bad things and horror, absolutely true. Uh, uh, Lies and deceits, right, and all kinds of stuff, but still remain some monicum of goodness, just a tiny, tiny bit. Well, that's gone too with the Republicans. So it is in a sense choosing the lesser of two evils, and it's not a happy choice. But boy, I'll tell you, any day my vote will be with the Republicans that are for the Democrats. Any day with the Democrats that are for people like Bernie Sanders, and some degree of sanity, and bring us back together again as one, um, we the people, and also right the wrongs that have been going on for years and years and years. The military industrial complex. We need to change the game. Uh, Russia and Putin. There's really no surprise there. He stated, rather, one of his generals stated, and Rachel Maddow covered this, stated that they were going to unleash basically a nuclear weapon in terms of social media and so forth, to make America respect them, and basically control the outcome of this election, and they did that. Uh, we kind of know this now from many sources. At some point, you have to stop and ask yourself, with all this massive amount of blinding smoke that billows up to the point where you can't see anything anymore, there's just gotta be a little tiny bit of fire, don't you think? So, with that, I mean, we could go on and on about on the political side, but there's just a little tiny bit of things I wanted to say, and every time we'll have one segment which will include politics, and that was it for right now. And then the second segment was what? Well, weird stuff. Okay, stuff that is well, everything from UFOs to interdimensional creatures and beings and spiritual things. Um, what's going on right now seems to be a worldwide, and other things like a worldwide die-off of animals, mammals, fish, um, strange anomalies all over the world. If you look up Guy McPherson, and I encourage you to look it up, it will absolutely freak you out. But as my friend Carol Rosin likes to say, uh, but the truth is, we are in just dire problems. And to say that there's no, again, the Republicans that say that there's no proof of climate change is insanity. Uh, Science is being put aside just like it was in Hitler's time. There's really no difference. And so, in order to have a world where we operate, for instance, the technology that I'm using, YouTube, right, and a phone, and Wi-Fi and connections and all that stuff. It's called science. You're viewing me through science. And so empirical science is very simple. It is the replication of something that you can do over and over again. That becomes what we call science. It's just that simple. Every time I press the button to record, and every time you go and see a recording, whether it's mine or anyone else's, or anytime you use any type of technology, computers, phones, and stuff like that, you're using science. Science is not a dirty word. Science is simply what we've learned about the natural world, I believe God's creation, and how it works. It's just that simple. And so there's no question whatsoever that about these things. And so when we start seeing anomalies like Guy McPherson is talking about, eco feedback loops, you start to get quite concerned when you start seeing Category 5 hurricanes, for instance, become commonplace. Well, these were all predicted in the models way back when. Back in '92, when I did co-produced the event with my friend Mike Panera on the Queen Mary, kind of really the first eco summit in the world, I ran into the Union Concerned Scientists. And my father, having been a who's who in the scientific world, I immediately understood it. And their projected models of what would happen, this is back in '92, folks, of what would happen in the future, unchecked, well, they spelled absolute disaster. They were forecasting climate change. Al Gore based some of his work on that. Again, it's not political, it's science. That's how you're viewing this, is through science. Deal with it. Okay, so the truth is, Guy McPherson is actually, I can't remember, it's probably up to 40 eco feedback loops, but just give you one of them. As the planet warms, we can talk about why it's warming. Okay, I believe there's two reasons. One is things are happening in space and our sun, and the other one, of course, is carbon monoxide and all these other greenhouse gases and things that we're creating en masse, and not cleaning up really much of any of it. And so, of course, this is going to be the outcome. It's not the universe is really big. The planet Earth is just a tiniest little speck, and we are filling it with crap every single day. We're filling the air with crap. We're filling the seas with crap, and of course, this is not the way to tend God's green earth. Okay, this is not what He meant at all. If you read the Bible, the Bible is the antithesis of what we see in the what I'll just call alternative Christianity, just to be funny. But the truth is, it's the opposite of what is taught in the Bible. Love your neighbor as yourself. Where is the love? I don't see any love. All I see is hate. Hate this people, hate those people. Why? Because it's dividing and conquering you from me. Then they win. Don't let them win. Please wake up. Don't let them win. Now, for those of you who agree with me, I know you're on my side, or on the right side, actually. That I'm not speaking to you. I'm obviously speaking to those poor lost souls out there that think that they're absolutely, my God is right and might makes right, and Sean Hannity is, oh my God. These people are truly scary, and the more truth that comes out about them, the better. And I don't think we've seen all of it yet. In fact, I know we haven't seen all of it yet. If you follow my Facebook page, I've been all about this for quite some time now, about my views. And my views are run, I see things, I just see them, and so I have to talk about them. That's why I'm doing this show. Of course, I'm known as Yikes, as a musician and artist. And so I thought I would just, why not? The Yikes Show, right? Take it out there and all. But Guy McPherson talks about the eco-feedback loops, one of them being just methane gas. Methane gas is being released more and more by the day as the planet is warming, melting the ice caps where the methane gas is trapped, and God help us if any of it literally blows up and catches on fire. But what happens is the methane gas is released, it's like 30 times more of a eco problem for us than even carbon monoxide, and so it self perpetuates the problem. So as it gets warmer, more gas gets released. There, by making it even warmer, and it's a cycle, and that's what called one. That's just one eco feedback loop, right? Well, there's about 30 of them going on, and guys, I'm warning us all. We haven't seen anything yet. Hypercanes, like the Category 5s that we've been seeing, is going to be a fond memory, I believe, in the not too distant future. Not to mention all the other, crazy things going on. But that one is a lot man-made. It didn't have to happen. There are things we can do to control things. We can clean up our oceans, and there are now, so much. They said, I think by the year 2030, there'll be more plastic in the oceans than there are fish. And so we can't treat God's world like this. We can't do this. We have to be responsible. When I say we, I'm talking about the corporations that are making all this money off of you and me, giving us ever cheaper products by doing this kind of stuff, and taking away all the money from us. And so it all flows up to the 1%. They talked about trickle down. Forget about trickle down. We're talking about oceans flowing up to them. Oceans of your money floating up to them. Okay, and it's become a river and then a massive waterfall. Just think of it that way, is that they're just pulling your money away from you, because that's what they're doing. And you gotta open your eyes and perceive it. It's there to be perceived. I'm not that special, I promise you. It's there to be seen. You just have to have a little bit of intuition. Go in and ask yourself what's going on. And then dare to stand up. And of course, a lot of people are standing up. Yay. We can do something at the voting polls, but we also need to change the way we're thinking and operating as a world, as a species of human beings. And not just us, but we got to look after the less fortunate. And I don't mean, again, just human beings. I'm talking about the fish, okay? I don't think they really want to spend a lot of time with plastic. I'm pretty sure they don't, okay? I don't think we do either, all right? There is a responsible way to handle all these things. And so, anyway, getting back to weird, because that just danced all over politics in segment one. But I will float around like, oh, wait a minute, looks like oh yeah, there we go. Okay, well, it doesn't really work. I was trying to do the things behind my head without, forget it. I said we're low tech. Okay, so let's see. So that was that. Strange anomalies, things happening around the planet. I'm privy to certain things. My ears are pretty low to the ground. And Dr. Carol Rosin's a friend. The late Edgar Mitchell, Captain, oh God, I forget his name. Anyway, he's still around. There are people that have experienced very interesting things. We also have a show. It's called S-Team, and it will go into all of these things about the Antarctica, and a lot of this stuff will be coming out in a television series I know you're going to love. It's everything you want to see, but the interesting thing about the show, and yes, I'm pitching it, is that the show, you can go to Google anytime about various parts of the show and go, oh, that's real, this happened, that happened, with people that are well known in various spheres. So it's a really exciting show. Hope you'll watch it as soon as we get on a network. So in any event, with that, I'm going to say goodbye for now. It's almost been 20 minutes. And we'll carry on as the news fits.